Giff and Libba co-founded BGI with two other people in 2002, and it is a truly remarkable thing that now BGI is listed as the #1 choice of the Net Impact Student Guide that directs lots and lots of young students toward the program that was the very first MBA in sustainability in the country. I believe that when the history books are written, it is very possible that Libba and Giff's accomplishment, the founding of BGI, will be recognized as one of the, and perhaps the most lasting and significant impacts of the social venture network.
You know, I always like to do something useful as opposed to just words. So I'm going to show you a process that you can take home, and you can always email me how to do it more. So every morning at BGI starts with a Virginia Satir opening circle. And it starts with appreciations, goes into new information or announcements, and then puzzles, you know, where people don't really have quite a complaint, and then complaints or problems with perhaps proposed solutions, and then hopes and dreams. And although our scale is very small to demonstrate this on, we're going to try and demonstrate it just between the two of us.
I want to appreciate all of BGI's friends, advisors, donors, alums, entrepreneurs in residence, and board members. And I'd like it if everybody who falls into one of those categories would stand for just a moment. Let's give a hand to all the people who make BGI actually happen. So this is new information. There would be no BGI without SVN, and that's absolutely 100% true. It began when we got together in that first meeting, and SVN came up with 3 possible initiatives: a socially responsible investment fund, a kind of a club and support system for socially responsible investors and entrepreneurs where we could share best practices, or perhaps a socially responsible business school. And that idea kind of dove deep inside our consciousness, and we lived with us for a long time. Meanwhile, Libba and I went out and we were doing the corporate thing with entrepreneuring and helping to liberate people inside large corporations. And we could have been captured by the kind of corporate mindset, but we kept coming to SVN and hanging out with a bunch of crazies who saw that there was a really better way to do things. And it kind of kept us on the straight and narrow. We came to the conclusion that corporations rule the world, and that they are really setting the stage for what happens. We saw that you could do protests, you could pass laws, you could do regulations, you could move the corporations a little bit from the outside, but then they struck back and there was a backlash. They put together think tanks and by the legislators and so forth. And so there was no way, by the media, there was no way to do this unless we changed business from the inside. And so we looked at the kind of ways in which business people that we were experiencing in the corporation thought, and they believed that it was immoral to do anything for the environment or the community if it took a penny away from shareholders. We traced that back to business schools where this very same thing was being taught. And we said, the only way to save the environment, the only way to bring social justice into our society is that we have to change business education. And so we set out to start that business school, which SVN had been talking about all along. As Deb said, all our friends told us this was crazy, and perhaps it was. But SVN, they said, oh, come on, go for it, it makes a good idea. And there were people who were doing things equally crazy as that, so we felt we felt pretty good about it, and we went ahead. 50% of the donations which BGI has ever received have come from SVN members. When I say we wouldn't be here without SVN, this is no joke. It has been essential in many ways. We got discouraged sometimes, and then we'd come to SVN meetings and we'd get all pumped up again. So I want to thank you all very much for helping us to build something which is very meaningful to us and hopefully to the world.
And I have one little tiny wrap up, and that's that I have a problem and a hope and dream, which is the sequence of the Virginia Satir process. And the problem is that, you know, we're 10 years old and our diversity of our student body is not sufficient to be proud of. And so we're starting a fund with Fred Miller, who's a great mentor of ours and a wonderful SVN member. And he'll put his name on it, and we'd like some other names, and help with the selection and mentors of scholarship recipients. So we're working on that. Contact me, and I think we're really out of time.
But I have one last hope and dream just in case. I dream about a university of sustainability and social justice. Of course, we'd have a business school, which we have already, but we would also have the other things which we need. We would have a art school which would teach visionary art about how to see a future that's worth living. We would have an engineering school to build the products. We would have a policy school and so forth. So I believe that we are going to build this with SVN's help.
All right, Libba and Giff, thank you.